If you can share your screen too, that'd be fantastic.
All right, there's only a few EOLs. Um, so if you receive one, just pull off to the side, try to make it clear so other people don't rear end you.
Well, Christian, it looks like my timing tower is also having some technical difficulties at the moment as well. I'll do my best to read you the grid at the front of the field at the moment. As at the front of the field, it's going to be Art Muhammad Alif in that red and black Mercedes. He's going to lead the field, and to his outside, there's going to be Nicholas Daly from UT Arlington in that blue and orange Mercedes as well. Behind him, Jordan Johnson in his blue and white Porsche from Kent State University will line up in third. And on the outside of him, it's going to be can't quite see the number from here, but that's your top three at the moment. It's going to be Jordan Johnson in third. Arm Hamid has the upper hand in the championship battle at the moment by starting on pole position for race one, but it is all to play for in this race tonight as they come through the final corner now. Pace car leading the field of green through this penultimate corner. It's going to be very important for Muhammad Ali to get a good jump here and lead the pack and make sure he can lead the championship as well as he gets away very well out of the final corner. Nicholas Daly sleeping a little bit, and that's going to give Jordan Johnson the opportunity to move up into second position as they come to the checker or the green flag now. Alif has a very healthy lead over Jordan Johnson going into turn one, and then third place right now, that is Nicholas Daly from UT Arlington going through the first corner. Alif still in the lead, Jordan Johnson following close behind as they head up towards turns 2 and 3. Turn 2, bit of an easy corner, completely flat, really only there for motorcycles as Jordan Johnson tries to tuck into that slipstream of R. Muhammad Alif heading up into turn 3. Yeah, absolutely. After the first lap, it's going to be R. Muhammad Alif leading his championship rival, Jordan Johnson, through turn one they go. Jordan Johnson knows he's going to have to get in front of Alif in order to get the spots to be able to jump him in the championship standing. But as it stands right now, R. Muhammad Alif is your current championship leader, but still over 20 minutes left in this race, as well as a whole 25-minute race two coming on later tonight. But through turn three, Jordan Johnson looks like he's closed up to the field a little bit. Yeah, Yeah, Nicholas Daly, though, is doing a very good job in third position still. Started second. He dropped down a spot off the start. He's doing a good job of keeping pace with Jordan Johnson and R. Muhammad Alif. So we'll see how long he can hold on to the back of those two drivers in front of him. But we've seen throughout this season that Alif and Jordan Johnson both have very, very rapid pace, not only over a couple laps, a couple minutes, but throughout the whole 25-minute race. And it tends to be that if one of them can pull away, then they tend not to get caught back up to. So still very close racing at the front of the field right now. So R. Muhammad Leaf in the red and black Mercedes from Ball State University being chased by his championship rival, Jordan Johnson in the blue and white Porsche from Kent State University. It looks like that Porsche is very good on the brakes into turn 3. That's going to allow him to close up to the Mercedes of R. Muhammad Leaf coming down towards turn 4 now. It's going to be a slipstream battle down into the braking zone, but Jordan Johnson just a bit too far back. He's using all the curb on entry to make sure he can really maximize that corner and get his corner speed as high as possible. But Alif doing a good job of late on the brakes, carrying the speed and continuing to hold the lead, but for how much longer? Yeah, absolutely. We saw yesterday in the Formula C race that every 10th absolutely does matter because any sort of mistake will allow you to fall back into the grasp of the cars behind, and you want to have as much buffer as you can without overstepping the edge. As our Muhammad Ali still doing a good job, but elsewhere throughout the field, we have good battles brewing between Carl Limcol and Andrew Williams for the 7th position at the moment, as well as battles between Ian Brown and Nicholas Patinella and Cohen Evans in 9th, 10th, and 11th, as well as Ryan Whitlock in 12th. He's trying to get into that battle as Patinella looks like he's dropped to the field now. We'll have to see what happened to him. Potentially a spin or an off track that's going to cost him tons of time. But at the front of the field, still 3/10 of a second separating R. Muhammad Leaf in first and Jordan Johnson in second as they come around to the start finish straight for another lap here. Yeah, coming down into turn 4, less than 2/10 of a second separating Jordan Johnson, R. Muhammad Alif. Alif, I think he has the better car through the middle part of this track, but that Porsche is so powerful under braking into the heavy braking zone of turn 3. He's able to gain so much time, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a dive bomb or a lunge coming later on in this race. But do remember, these two do have a history together this season in both Formula C as well as the GT3 challenges. They've come together multiple times this season. Both drivers coming off worse for wear depending on the occasion, but less than 3/10 of a second the gap now. Coming turn towards 9 and 10 of this Red Bull Ring. Looks like Carl Limcol is closing up on the back of Jacob Cummings for 6th position, as well as Andrew Williams following close behind. But coming down into turn 1, the gap 3/10 of a second still between Johnson and Alif. Through turn 1 they go. Yeah, absolutely. Is coming down towards turn 4. It's Jordan Johnson, 0.2 of a second separating the leaders at the moment. That Porsche can't quite get there. We know how strong he is under the brakes, but I think Muhammad Leaf knows that as well, and he's trying to maximize his corner speed in order to hold off that fast-charging Porsche of Jordan Johnson behind. We'll see how tire wear plays a factor in this race, as we're currently about 8.5 minutes in at the moment. Still over 15 minutes to go in this race, so tire wear can play a factor for some of these drivers, as Carl Limkol is getting close to Jacob Cummings further back in the field. But at the front of the field, we can't miss this battle at the moment, because this is your two championship leaders, your two rivals, only separated by a handful of points in the championship standing coming into the last race of the night. So it's going to be very, very important to make sure that these drivers are getting as many points as they can, and more importantly, getting more points than their rivals. As another lap led for our Muhammad Ali from Ball State University through turn 1. You can just see how much Jordan Johnson is backing up a little bit to see if he can get the run, as Alif is really wide onto the curb. He grinds it like a skateboard almost as they come out of the corner, and it's going to be a slipstream battle up to turn 3 for Jordan Johnson. Can he get the move done? Will he be able to get up to the rear wing of Alif? I don't think he can get there quite yet, but you can see how much he closes in under braking, using as much curb as possible in order to maximize that corner speed. And this might be his opportunity coming down to turn 4 now, right under that rear wing. Jordan Johnson, he's going to try to make a move here, potentially inside, outside. We'll see what he does. Will he throw the dummy here? No, it looks like Jordan Johnson wants that outside line. He's going to take as much curb as possible on entry. We've seen him do that in turns 3 as well. Out of the corner, Muhammad Leaf does a good job of defending the challenge from Jordan Johnson, but is Jordan Johnson playing a long game? Is he trying to save his tires? Is he maybe underfueled his car just slightly to have that bit quicker race pace, and he's just trying to save some fuel by sitting in the draft? But nothing can separate these two drivers at the moment. Jordan Johnson last night came out on top in the Formula C Championship Series, but Muhammad Leaf has something to say about who's going to win the GT3 Challenge Championship tonight, as down to turn 9 they go. On the curbing again, outside, Jordan Johnson really maximizing the entry there where he can and trying to ensure he carries as much speed as possible, but he's as close as he's been coming out of the final corner. We'll see if he gets a move into turn 1 or maybe even turn 3 up at the top of the hill. Yeah, you see that exit of turn 4 all the time. You know, a lot of modern tracks typically have asphalt runoff where you can just keep the foot to the floor, but this track here around the Red Bull Ring, a bit old school in some respects with the gravel traps in the middle sector, but Muhammad Leaf doing a very good job defending that lead at the moment. I don't believe we'll see anything from the stewards for that incident. That was just hard racing as they continue on for another lap, but I think Jordan Johnson really wants to have the braking capabilities on the outside of turn 3 on those curbs. And I think that's why he's been so quick through that corner, as he can maximize as much of the track as possible without getting an off track or slow down. So we'll see what happens in these coming laps, but I wouldn't expect Jordan Johnson to take the inside line if it's given to him. I think he wants that outside line to make the move into turn 3 and then take it all the way to turn 4. He almost does it again in turn 3. He's got a really good run here. Muhammad Leaf, I think, was a little bit loose coming off the exit, a little slow on the gap. As Jordan Johnson on the outside in the white and blue Kent State machine on the inside is going to be Muhammad Leaf in the red and black Ball State Mercedes as they go to turn 4, hard on the brakes. Leaf in the lead still, does a good job of cutting off the exit for Jordan Johnson. But Jordan Johnson, he has something to say about this as he goes to the outside of Muhammad Leaf, going down into turn 6 on the outside, the white and blue Porsche. That's Jordan Johnson from Kent State. They contact between the two cars. Muhammad Leaf spinning onto the inside of the corner. Jordan Johnson and Muhammad Leaf come together again for what seems like the 15th time this season. But Muhammad Leaf coming off worse for wear in this occasion as Jordan Johnson steams away in the lead, and Muhammad Leaf is going to have something to say about that one. Yeah, absolutely. I think we've seen some very, very good racing throughout the field and throughout this whole season, and I think it'd be very unfortunate for a Leaf to come out worse for wear due to some contact there. I think he's had some bad luck this season with getting into incidents that weren't necessarily his fault. Long Beach comes to mind, where I believe it was one of his first CIL races, and he was dominating the field in qualifying. Just unfortunate to get caught up in incidents at Long Beach, where there's pretty much nowhere to go. If you imagine a three-car pileup at Monaco blocks the whole road, it's the same thing at Long Beach. 2 or 3 cars, especially in that last hairpin, can take out so much of the field, and I think that's what happened to a Leaf in Long Beach and then other races as well, where it's just not necessarily his fault. It's just bad luck, and that's just part of racing, and it's something you have to deal with and move on because it happens to your opponents and rivals as well. As a Leaf continues to make his charge back through the field after coming into contact with Jordan Johnson through turn 3. Nicholas Daly in the blue and orange UT Arlington car in front of a Leaf. I think Nick Daly has a very, very good car in him right now. He's been keeping pace with Jordan Johnson. I'm not sure if Jordan Johnson has any damage resulting from the contact between himself and Leaf, but we'll have to see as this race goes on. And remember, a second race tonight, top 12 invert, a lot to play for. A lot of chaos could happen. We saw it last night in the Formula C race, so there's no reason to give up hope just quite yet for our Muhammad Leaf. Yeah, Nick Daly is pulling a bit of as a blocker for Jordan Johnson right now, but for how much longer can Nicholas Daly hold off our Muhammad Leaf behind? We'll have to see. As elsewhere throughout the field, we have some battles brewing between Carl Limco, Andrew Williams, Ryan Whitlock, and Ian Brown. That's for pretty much, and Jacob Cummings. That's 5 through pretty much 10th position are all very close to one another at the moment. Close racing throughout the entire field. We'll see if we can get eyes on that battle right now. As a Leaf still about a second, 1.1 seconds behind Nicholas Daly at the moment. We're looking for the battle between Whitlock, Brown, and Hunter here. If we can maybe pull that up as look at this. A whole lot of action here. That's Ian Brown from Mesa Community College in that blue and red Ferrari. In front of him, that's Andrew Williams from Clemson University in the orange and purple Porsche, as well as Ryan Whitlock in that iconic scheme those University of Alabama of Huntsville drivers run, that moon space themed Lamborghini, definitely making his way through the field right now. And in that St. Clair College car behind this gaggle, that's Daniel Hunter, who put on a very good showing in the Formula C race last night in the second race. Just unfortunate incident between him and a Leaf. But Daniel Hunter has some pace in him as these cars steam up towards turn 3. Late on the brakes, that Porsche goes, and it looks like Ian Brown was also late on the brakes there potentially, but not quite as good of an exit as Andrew Williams in front of him. As Ian Brown wants to make up another few positions here if he can. That Ferrari is always going to be good in a straight line, but can overcome the good brakes and the great stopping ability of that Porsche, and I don't think it can in that occasion. So hard to overtake the Porsche in some of these battles, but we do see a couple drivers here, all very close to one another, and we'll see if they can carry this through into race 2. But at the moment, still at the front of the field, Jordan Johnson leads. Nicholas Daly, he started in second. He started in second, still second after a bit of contact between a Leaf and Jordan Johnson, sent Leaf back down to third position. Yeah, our Muhammad Leaf in chasing down Jordan Johnson. It looks like he spun off. I believe that's turn 4 there potentially. We'll have to get a replay of that if we can. But our Muhammad Leaf going for broke here and just more worried about gaining position rather than staying on track. And he's dropped from second all the way back down to fourth now. That's Edwin Onofre in third position from the University of North Texas. He's running a very quiet but very controlled race. He's almost snuck up into the podium positions. Didn't realize he was quite up there for the lead or in the podium, but we're going to get a replay here of our Muhammad Leaf coming down into turn 4. No one around him, so it looks like it's a self-induced spin as hard onto the brakes, a bit deep into the corner potentially here, and I think he just loses the rear end. Yeah, just deep into the corner. It's so easy to do into the exit of turn 4 that you try to crank the wheel to get some steering angle and get that front end turned, and you upset the rear end. And I think Daly has a little bit of contact with the Leaf as well. If it was very, very close, if there was contact, it was very minor. Good job by Daly doing his best to avoid. And we see Edwin Onofre steam through into the third position. So a Leaf just not maybe get seeing a little bit of red at the moment and trying to chase down the lead. It cost him a couple spots there. That's going to be costly in the championship standings if chaos starts to reign in race 2. But at the moment, I don't know if there's enough time for him to get back up into the third or maybe even the second position. We'll have to see. But our Muhammad Leaf having a pretty eventful race so far. Yeah, it's very unfortunate for Elif as there's only about 2 minutes to go in this race, so we are likely on the penultimate lap at the moment. Jordan Johnson is your leader, a large gap over Nicholas Daly in second right now, and Edwin Onofre right behind Daly for a couple seconds back. So Onofre aiming a gun for a podium here. He probably wasn't expecting that when this race kicked off, but elsewhere throughout the field, battles still brewing between Jacob Cummings from Wingate University as well as a battle between him and Carl Limkol from St. Louis University, as well as Ryan Whitlock trying to stick his nose in there for the 5th, 6th, and 7th position. For that 12th position right now, we got Cale Davidson out of, I believe, Ball State University. Hold reverse grid pole at the moment. It was 14 and a half, 15 seconds back is 13th place. So Cale Davidson just trying to hold on to that 12th spot to get pole position for the second race of the evening and maybe potentially help his teammate as still battles brewing on track. Carl Lemkel, Ryan Whitlock, and Jacob Cummings, only a couple tenths separating those drivers. So we'll see if we can get eyes on those drivers here in just a moment. Looks like Daniel Hunter and Nicholas Patnell are swapping positions back at the back of the field. But we do have our white flag this lap. White flag waved by Barney the Flagman, going crazy. 1 lap to go here from the Red Bull Ring. Up at the front of the field, Jordan Johnson has a commanding lead. He's done very well this race. Started in third. Poor qualifying effort by his standards, not by many of our standards, though, as he has done a great job to get past Dick Daly at the start and get into the second position, and then just hound Muhammad Ali for lap after lap. And contact between them eventually led to Alif spinning out a little bit in turn 6, and then Alif in trying to recover from that spin with contact from Jordan Johnson, spun in turn 4, lost tons of time, dropped from second down to 4th as Jordan Johnson through turn 6 now. This eventful corner, this race for him as he comes out of the corner very nicely. He knows he just has to keep it on the blacks if at the moment. Further back to the field, Jacob Cummings still doing a good job in holding off Carl Limkol for this final lap. Only a couple tenths separating those drivers. Ryan Whitlock is hoping there's some contact between those two in front of him and he can slide on by for 5th. But it is Jordan Johnson from Kent State University driving that Porsche, that blue and white Porsche that is iconic all season. He's coming out of the final corner now to take the first victory of the night here. Race 1 for the CiL GT3 Challenge at the Red Bull Ring. Weaving across the track, he's celebrating this victory, and he knows he's got one hand on the trophy already for the championship. Yeah, it looks like coming across the line now, we had Nick Daly in second. Edwin Onofre does a fantastic job in snagging a podium position here in race 1. Further back throughout the field in 5th position, I believe 4th position, Muhammad Alif. Jacob Cummings finishes 5th. He's able to hold off Carl Limkol as well as Ryan Whitlock in 7th. In 9th is Hunter Hadesti coming across the line for Clemson University for the alumni. And I believe in 12th position, Cale Davidson has crossed the line now. He is going to be on pole position for race 2 by virtue of being in that 12th position, and the top 12 are inverted. So Cale Davidson from Ball State University might have the opportunity to help his teammate as he leads the field to green this next race for Ball State. But very eventful race 1, lots of battling throughout the field at the Red Bull Ring. It's such a good track, lots of long straightaways to slipstream and lots of heavy braking zones to make overtakes. So always fun to watch GT3 10 top racing here at the Red Bull Ring. But Christian, we did a fantastic job of, or the racers did a fantastic job of keeping things mostly clean tonight. Any incidents we did see were fairly benign for the most part. I think the worst one we saw was our Muhammad Leafs incident. So very, very good racing throughout the field tonight. Yeah, I believe P8. Yeah, well, he'll start P8 for race 2, so he'll have an advantage over his championship rival starting a bit further up the field, but he's gonna have to hope P9. Yeah, yeah, I guess yeah, that is right. P9 for race 2, so he'll have a couple positions over his championship rival in race 2. But we saw how quick Jordan Johnson got to the back of our Muhammad Alif after he cleared traffic between himself and Alif. So he has good race pace because anything can happen. Chaos can reign at turn 3, that hard braking zone. Not only do you risk getting bumped into under braking, but on the exit, if someone spins in front of you, these GT3 cars are a bit more durable than the Formula C cars we saw last night. So it is going to be a very, very exciting race too. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a chance for Jordan Johnson to put his stamp on this season if he does well. Dale Davidson from Ball State. There are a couple other drivers this season as well. Rick Crane. Yeah, the Ford, definitely a very interesting pick, but the Ford is definitely potentially. 1 second here. We'll see. Yeah, but yeah, as Christian Hill was saying, I think we've had some technical difficulties with the mics that we just realized. But uh, Christian Hill was just talking about Carl Imco choosing the Ford. The Ford is a very, very much a cult favorite for some drivers. It's, if you look at it statistically and objectively, it's a very, very poor performer in the GT3 category. But you got your diehards who will stand by the Ford no matter what. And under the right hands, the Ford can be a deadly weapon. So all these GT3 cars are fairly close enough to the most part where a skilled driver can take any car to the top of the field. We'll see if we can get the reading. Christian Hill, our second commentator tonight, might have had his mic broken, muted, potentially not working, but we'll see if we can get that working in any second here. So it made it sound like I was talking to nobody in the Twitch broadcast for everyone at home. Apologies for that. I'm just talking to my imaginary friends, apparently. But we're about to get going for race 2 here in the CiL GT3 Challenge from the Red Bull Ring. Our final race of the season, our final time these drivers will be gridding up for the race tonight. It's going to be a good race to watch here. I think it's going to be a lot of action throughout the field. But starting on pole position for race 2, it's going to be CiL Davidson from Ball State University. By virtue of finishing 12th in race 1, they'll get the pole position for race 2 due to that top 12 invert. In second position right now, a little bit of difficulties reading the timing towers. It's not coming through properly. But
hello, I'm back, and apologies if you weren't able to hear me that entire time. There's the law that whatever. But anyway, CiL Davidson we have in P1 from Ball State University, as we talking about him during the warm-up. P2 we have Austin DeLong from Pennsylvania College of Technology. P3, we have Ian Brown from Mesa Community College, followed by P4, Hunter Destiny from Clemson University. P5, Andrew Williams from Clemson University, another Clemson University driver, as we have quite a few around here. Ryan Whitlock, University of Alabama in Huntsville, who we have actually as a driver camp tonight. We'll be checking him with him a little bit later during race 2. We have Carl Lemkuhl, P7, St. Louis University. P8, Jacob Cummings, Wingate University, followed by P9, our Muhammad Alif, one of our championship rivals here from Ball State University, as well as rounding out our top 10, Edwin Onofre from University of North Texas, followed by Nicholas Daly, P11 from University of Texas at Arlington, and P12, another championship rival from Kent State, is Jordan Johnson. as we can get P12 here up quickly. Excuse me, P13, we have Daniel Hunter in St. Clair College, followed by P14 is Robert Nicholas Patinella, Robert University, P15 is Clemson University, and we go to there as I miss the rest of them, but I can quickly read them out, is Andrew Burrell, P13, P14 is Alexander Hogarth, P15 is Cohen Evans, P16 is Kyle Wood, P17 is Ian Brown, P18 is Daniel Hunter, and P19 is Victor Roldan. Woo!
Yeah, absolutely. We got the grid going here as we've started race 2 in the GT3 challenge tonight. We have Jordan Johnson trying to make his way through the field currently, but at the front of the field, that's CiL Davidson from Ball State, but right to his outside, that's going to be Andrew Williams from Clemson University, the inside of turn 3. They're 3 wide through turn 3, acting throughout the field right now. Muhammad Leaf has made his way up from 9th to 4th already in race 2. He's steaming through the field. He is seeing red after his incident in race 1, but at the front of the pack, side by side, Williams to the inside, CiL Davidson to the outside of turn 4. We'll see what kind of action happens from this, and there's a bit of a slide job there almost from Andrew Williams at the front of the field on CiL Davidson, and Andrew Williams is going to hold on to that position, but they're going side by side down and through turn 6 at the moment on the inside. That's the Clemson car of Andrew Williams. He's going to get that move done, but Muhammad Leaf for that 3rd position, he gets it done in Austin DeLong now as Carl Limkel eyes up a move on DeLong as well. But your leader now, Andrew Williams from Clemson University, he's got a couple quick cars behind him that he doesn't want to see in his rearview mirror quickly, but looking at the progress of our other drivers, Jordan Johnson is playing conservatively right now, still in the 9th position, trying to make a move on Ryan Whitlock. Other drivers up at the front of the pack we saw in race 1. Further down in race 2 still, we have Jacob Cummings. He started in 5th. It looks like there's a spin from Hunter Hidesti potentially as he's dropping down our timing towers now. At the front of the field, Andrew Williams leads the first lap for race 2 here in the GT3 sprint. Behind him, it's CiL Davidson and Muhammad Alif, his Ball State University teammate. Right behind him is Alif gets a very good exit out of turn 1. Davidson, not a great exit. He's going to lose a ton of time down this long straightaway.
Sorry to break in, but Jordan Johnson's in the pits. Jordan Johnson has gone into the pits. Jordan Johnson crashed. I think Jordan Johnson had a crash with Hunter Hidesti. So if Jordan Johnson is out of this race, that means Muhammad Alif wins the championship. Let's take a quick look at exactly what happened.
Unfortunate for Jordan Johnson there. Well, yeah, we'll have to get a replay here.
Let's get a bit of a replay here. Hold on. These cameras aren't too great right now. Let's see if we can get a better image. So we're going to be looking at that blue and white Porsche, that number 4, as we kind of highlight in on him. Oh, as we can see, maybe a bit of it. Oh, there's going to be a bit of, I can see what happened. So someone started to slide out. Jordan Johnson may not have been able to kind of, he slid, right into him and sent him flying. I think that's going to be the end of Jordan Johnson's race, as he's going to, he smacks right into that tire wall. He's going to go into the pits. I think that's the end of his race. He's still in the pits.
I think he got a bit lucky there that he didn't hit it head on. He did hit it from the side. It might have knocked the toe out. I don't know how long he has on the repairs there, but Jordan Johnson, if he had any luck, it'd be no luck at all. In the same style of what happened last night in the Formula C race, he did have a bit of a championship buffer in the Formula C championship, but Jordan Johnson also involved in a lap 1 incident that was not his fault in Formula C. Same thing happens here in the GT3 challenge. So Jordan Johnson, I would not want. He's just the most unlucky man in the CiL right now. But at the front of the field, Andrew Williams for Clemson is still leading the field, and I think Muhammad Alif is now looking around, knowing that he just has to keep it on the track. So we'll get back up to the live action now. As out of turn 3 they go. Andrew Williams from Clemson, that 23 car, still in the lead at the moment. But Muhammad Alif knows he has to play it safe, play a bit patient here, and he'll be in the lead.
Yeah, with anyone who can do any sort of math here tonight, I think has, I mean, I don't know what to think. I don't know if that's anticlimactic, not anticlimactic. I just can't get over what happened with Jordan Johnson. I mean, this is a phenomenal race going on between Andrew Williams and Muhammad Alif, but his race is done. I mean, Hunter Hidesti is already out on the track again. He's a lap down, but Jordan Johnson's now coming around to, I think, 2 laps down, and that's it. Yeah, it's a rough one looking for Jordan Johnson there, as kind of a random in the, I don't want to call him random, but Hunter Hidesti is kind of ended his race there. As we can see, Muhammad Alif really kind of pushing on close to Andrew Williams here, but I'm lost for words here, Matt. Lost for words.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if Jordan Johnson had any luck, it'd be no luck, you know? Just like you can't you can't anticipate people spinning, as it looks like Muhammad Leaf moved to the inside of Andrew Williams up into turn 3 late on the brakes. Andrew Williams does a good job on the exit, though. He's going to fight this one back down turn towards turn 4, but Jordan Johnson just, you can't anticipate the unexpected happening, as Andrew Williams looks like he might be able to hold on to this lead as they come down to turn 4. He's going to be very, very deep on the brakes, and it
Who's
looks
going
like
to try to do the over-under?
Muhammad Leaf a bit deeper into the corner. And yeah, like you said, he's going to do the over-under on a Leaf, and he wants to hold on to the position, but it's going to be so tricky around the outside of turn 6 here for Andrew Williams, and Andrew Williams is going to have to relinquish the lead in race 2 here as Muhammad Leaf up into the lead now, and I don't think he has anyone behind him he's worried about. He's going to set his sights on the clear road in front of him, enjoy the clean air. Oh, Andrew Williams spins coming out of turn 7, I believe, into the gravel pit. I think that dirty air just affecting him a little bit too much there, a bit too eager on the throttle. Muhammad Leaf has no one around him now to challenge for the lead.
Oh, and he's stuck. That you can't move. Oh, as we see another car go around. That's the 04 of Kyle Wood. You see the 04 of Kyle Wood kind of stuck there. Let's see if we can get a chopper cam to see both of these cars. Yeah, as they drop all the way to the back. I'm sure Kyle Wood and Andrew Williams are both just pissed about that. Andrew Williams, as I guess you could say, a bit of is a bit unlucky, but definitely not as unlucky as Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson is back out on the track after, I guess, trying to fix that. Oh, as you can see, just the insane amount of damage there on his car on that left side panel. Even that right side panel has quite a bit of damage on there, as he's just going to try to maybe see if he can get that car just a little bit around the track, see if it's able to do any sort of racing. But maybe he just has to hold out luck. Maybe something happens to Muhammad Leaf, but as he kind of goes through there, the car is a bit unstable. I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to hold on to this car. He's going to bring it into the pits, or he's just going to try to continue on as he's going to bring it back into the pits. I don't think he this car isn't drivable for him. It's just it's an unrealistic mess. So unfortunate end there for Jordan Johnson. But I think we could say that our Muhammad Leaf, barring any other issues, is our season 7, 6, what are we? 6. Season 6. Oh my gosh. Season 6 GT3 champion. As we take a look for him crossing the finish line now, but where the race is not over. We still have quite a bit of time left. We're only 7 minutes into this race here, and we'll be able to see what the rest of this race has in store for us.
Yeah, just because the battle at the front of the pack is not really happening right now. There's still plenty of racing throughout the field right now. Austin DeLong currently chasing down Carl Lemkel, who's made his way up into the second position right now. Carl Lemkel, your current leading alumni class driver at the moment, but looking at Nicholas Daly as well. He's trying to make a move here on Jacob Cummings, but DeLong in that blue Porsche right now trying to chase down Carl Lemkel. A couple tenths separating them, as it looks like Ryan Whitlock from the University of Alabama at Huntsville is going to move to his inside and turn 4 down the long straightaway to the tricky turn 4 off camber. It's so difficult to get a move done here, but it is very possible. As he hard on the brakes in that Lamborghini, he's going to try to really force the Porsche outside, and he does so very well there coming out of turn 4. Ryan Whitlock up into the podium positions, but behind him, Austin DeLong wants to fight this one back, and he's got a gaggle of cars behind them. Edwin Onofre, Jacob Cummings, Nick Daly, and Cale Davidson, all close enough to this battle to get a whiff of it, and they smell blood in the water here potentially.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. I mean, Ryan Whitlock is being hunted down by Austin DeLong. Ryan Whitlock is hunting down Carl Lemkel. Carl Lemkel is able to get about a second gap on these cars. But all these cars behind Ryan Whitlock is you have again Austin DeLong, and then you have a gaggle of cars between Ryan Whitlock. We have a gaggle of cars behind Austin DeLong is Edwin Onofre, Jacob Cummings, and Nicholas Daly. And then just a little bit back there, you can see just Kyle Davidson in his own little bubble between Nicholas Daly and Nicholas Patinella. He's in a bit of a Nicholas sandwich, kind of sitting back there in his Ferrari, between that. But Nicholas Patinella was just passed by Daniel Hunter in the Porsche from SCC.
Yeah, it looks like it was deep into the corner there, potentially for Edwin Onofre. He almost got into the back of Austin DeLong in turn 3 there. That's going to cause him to have a poor exit, and he's going to come under pressure now from the cars behind Nick Daly, Jacob Cummings. They want to get a move on Onofre here down into turn 4. Nobody's going to pull out there. It looks like actually Jacob Cummings is pulling out into turn 4 there potentially to make the move on Onofre. Dunn coming out of the corner.
As you can see, a spin
Oh,
from
it looks
Austin
like Austin
DeLong.
Log is spun. He's
Oh,
just trying to back it up off the track.
Nice save there. Or I guess not save, but definitely nice re-entry there into the track. That's definitely a rough one to spin on. I spun there the other day, or I spun there yesterday in Formula C, and that was a bit of an incident, I can say.
Yeah, around this track, it can be very, very easy to spin and kind of spin back onto the track. I was going to say this earlier, but of course, the one place Jordan Johnson was involved in the incident was the one place where there were barriers fairly close to the edge of the track. Unfortunate for him, if he's pretty much spun at any other corner, there wouldn't be any barriers and he'd to hit after getting into contact. But out of turn 9 and into turn 10, you have the pit wall divider, of course. But racing still happens. It happens, those random incidents. But on track still, it looks like Jacob Cummings from Wingate is going to come under pressure here from Nicholas Daly from UT Arlington. That blue and orange car you see on the back of your screen coming up into turn 3, the braking zone. Jacob Cummings does a good job holding off the lead. Looks like Nicholas Daly just wants to tuck in behind and maybe get a good exit out of the corner to really attack into turn 4. If you're not careful in turn 3, you could kind of have an overtake done, and then you'll get overtaken again into turn 4, and you'll just stay as a status quo for the moment. But down to turn 4, Daly still behind Cummings at the moment. Cummings doing a good job of positioning that Ferrari in just the right spots and using that high horsepower to get down the straights as well as he can. This middle sector, though, this is where Daly's going to excel in that front engine Mercedes.
Yeah, as we can see these two drivers kind of going at it a little bit. We're going to take a look at or listen up above to Ryan Whitlock. Ryan Whitlock is going to be in that Lamborghini, sitting up just up there in that beautiful Lamborghini. As we can get maybe Ryan on the phone. Ryan, do you copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Ryan. Firstly, phenomenal driving you got going on here. You're really hunting down Carl Lemkool there. Not to distract too much, but yeah, you got quite a bit of cars in front of you, and you really want to try to pass Carl Lemkool for that P2 spot in front of you. What's kind of going on? How's this race going for you?
Race is going pretty well. Took advantage of the invert, started strong, and just didn't get involved in anything. Currently trying to hunt down Carl, see what this good old Lamborghini's got with the old paint scheme. Been a while since I've driven this thing, so just seeing what I can get.
Yeah, do you as we see that beautiful paint scheme that is kind of an iconic, I guess, paint scheme around
Throwback.
the CiL. Yeah, it's a throwback, and it's a bit of an iconic one we've seen all over CiL in the past few seasons. The past seasons, but how's the Lamborghini treating you? How do you think it's was the right call, right choice versus maybe the Porsche? The Porsche is definitely the popular car around here.
Well, I started the season with the Mercedes at Long Beach and really struggled with understeer mid-corner. I remember turn 1 at Long Beach was just a pain. Struggled with understeering that car. Lamborghini always treated me well. I've probably got more time in here than anything. So I just figured I'll take the EOL, switch to the car I know and love. Even if BOP's not great, I know I'll have a good time.
Oop, yeah, as you get closer and closer to Carl Lemkool in front of you, I think we're gonna leave you out and let you fight your way through this. But appreciate the talk there, Ryan, and good luck and get that P2. Hope to hear you through the broadcast. That's Ryan Whitlock as he makes the move. As you can see the camera right in your view right there as he makes the move on Carl Whitlock. Carl Lemkool, excuse me. Ryan Whitlock makes a move on Carl Lemkool for that P2 as they go up to turn 3 here, as we'll get a better shot from that. Not from inside his camera. And we could switch back to that full view there. As we can see Ryan Whitlock try to take that inside as Carl goes around the edge and gets that yellow curbing, but is able to get a better exit than Ryan Whitlock.
Yeah, I think Lemkool doing a great job of utilizing the Porsche's superior braking power into the heavy braking zones there to really steam around the outside of Whitlock. Whitlock's not going to give this one up easily, though. He's going to try to look inside into turn 4. Can't quite get there, but a little deep Lemkool goes into turn 4. That's going to give Ryan Whitlock the opportunity to make a move on the inside of turn 4 here, or turn 5, down towards turn 6, around the outside. That's Whitlock in the Lamborghini. And on the inside, that white Porsche of Carl Lemkool continues to hold on to second place after regaining the position into turn 3 there. Maybe that was a calculated move from Limco to give up the position in turn 1 and regain it through turns 3 and 4. But very risky maneuver to go around the outside there from Ryan Whitlock, so he thought better of it. But he's going to look to the inside of turn 9. That's not a place we see moves very often, but decides to tuck right back on into the slipstream of Limco in front of him and fight this battle out for another day, as we still have about 10 minutes to go in this race as they come to the start-finish line to start lap 12, or lap 11, I believe.
Yeah, as we still have, as you said, 10 minutes to go. We have just 10 minutes, and a lot can happen in the 10 minutes. So I think Ryan Whitlock's really going to try hard to get back to Carl Lemkool. I think everywhere that Ryan is able to pass Carl, he's in a bad spot, right? So he passed them on this straight, and Carl was able to get on the inside of him again and make that move kind of stick, as well as a phenomenal exit. And then going after turn, I think that was turn 5 or turn 6, he was kind of able to be on the inside, or he was able to be on the inside, and that's kind of exactly where you want to be in that turn, because if you're on the outside going through that turn 6, it's really not the kind of spot you want to you want to make. And earlier, as I was saying, that last turn was turn 8. I was wrong. I'm pretty sure that is 10. I think you were right, because this is that was turn 4, that was 5, then we have 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so this is the turn you want to be on the inside of if you're fighting someone here, right there, because you're going to get that nice turn, and you're going to stick them out wide right here through this turn right here. It's exactly where you want to kind of stick them out, and maybe they'll run into that sand track, that gravel trap, and slow them down. It's the perfect spot you want to be.
Yeah, this track does have a lot of weird kind of corners that aren't corners. Turn 2 really isn't a corner for anything other than a motorcycle. Turns, I believe, 7 or 8 coming out of that middle sector. It's not really a corner either when you're in a 10 top car like these GT3s. But further back, Nicholas Daly looks like he's trying to make a move on Jacob Cummings on the front stretch down into turn 1. In the back of your screen right now, that blue and orange Mercedes for UT Arlington, he's going to be on the inside into turn 1. He'll get the move done on Jacob Cummings. He'll move up into the 4th position. But for the 2nd and 3rd position, still Limco and Whitlock going up to turn 3 right now. But Whitlock hasn't been able to really use that powerful engine of the Lamborghini to make a move. I think the braking power of the Porsche kind of almost neutralizes the speed, just because since the Lamborghini is a bit faster, you got to brake a touch earlier potentially, as it looks like Daly and Cummings are still side by side coming out of turn 3 at the moment down to turn 4. We'll see if we can get a view into the braking zone for those two drivers. Not quite be able to see it, but it looks like on the inside, that's Jacob Cummings, as Daly goes a bit onto the gravel on the outside of turn 4. Now he's going to come under pressure from Edwin Onofre from UNT. Onofre on the outside of turn 6. That's not a great place to be, as we've seen earlier with contact between Jordan Johnson and Armand Hamid-Alif. But Daly on the inside does a good job of defending, and he's only going to have to lose one spot to Jacob Cummings there, but he's going to have another chance to fight back for that 4th position here in the coming laps.
Yeah, that's a great position to be in. You really want to be on the inside, as we could see Ryan Whitlock really hunted down Carl Lemko's right on the bumper of him. He might even get a good enough slipstream as if he's able to take that turn just right. As I think they both got pretty good exits. Carl maybe just a hair of an exit better, so he's able to pull away from, I think, Ryan there just a little bit. But hopefully, maybe Ryan can kind of turn a bit into this, maybe make a better exit and try to get that slipstream down into turn 3. But yeah, it's definitely a rough position to be in. And as I got confirmation, yeah, those are turns 9 and 10. I was wrong. Turns 6 and 7 are the turns that you really want to be on the inside. So you have turn 4, it leads into turn 5, and then into turn 6 is that strong left-hander. Into that next left-hander is the 7, which is the slight right-hander, the 9, and then you have the last 2 turns, which is 9 and 10. And 10 being, honestly, probably the worst turn on here. It's just the hardest. You have to be the most precise and make sure you don't go too hard and get that 1 second slowdown.
Yeah, it's so important, too, because you don't want to accumulate too many off-tracks. It can be very easy to do around here at the Red Bull Ring. Really, turns 1, 3, 9, and 10 are all potential spots for off-tracks. Even turn 8 if you're not careful. But there's a spin in front of our leaders at the moment of Limco and Whitlock. I think that's a car that's a lap down. Can't quite tell. But they're able to make it through without issue right now. But Limco is under pressure now from Ryan Whitlock down into turn 8 and through turn 9. We'll see. Whitlock's going to look to the inside here. Potentially, they're going to go side by side here. This is not a move you see very often Normally, the car around the outside will have the overspeed, and you can kind of make the move around the outside of turn 9 and get the position done by turn 10, which is exactly what happens between Whitlock and Lemkel as they continue the status quo for this next lap. But that's allowed the cars behind in Cummings, Onofre, and Daly to close right up to this battle. So now, instead of a 2-car battle for Whitlock, it's a battle where he's going to have to attack Lemkel and defend from Cummings as well.
Yeah, that's definitely not a turn you want to be anywhere on the inside of. You really want to be on the outside of that turn. Because that's kind of, you just honestly, you don't want to be anywhere but on the racing line. That is a very precise corner, very speed orientated, very, kind of everything orientated. You don't want to be anywhere but on the racing line there. As you can see, Carl go just a little bit wide there on those curbs, but he's able to kind of eat those curbs and be able to take it pretty well. As we can see, Ryan Whitlock trying to chase him down, but Jacob Cummings right on the bumper of Ryan Whitlock, as well as Edwin Onofre not too far behind. So we're definitely got quite a bit of a battle going on here, as Mohamed Alif is 13 seconds ahead of Carl right now. So he's smooth sailing. He has nothing to worry about. He's just hanging around and just having a good race. But as we can see, Jacob Cummings really hunting down Ryan Whitlock. Ryan Whitlock is probably going into more of a defensive mode than an attacking mode on Carl. Instead, he's going on a defensive mode to Jacob Cummings and just trying to keep him out as he maybe transitions into that attacking mode on Carl Lemkel. Is he going to try to make that same? Is he going to try to make that same move again? Don't do it, Ryan. Ryan, don't do it. He's going to lose out again, I think.
Yeah,
he's going to lose out on that
turn
speed.
9. Yeah, but they're still side by side going
he's
into
not!
turn 10. I think both of them are going to lose a lot of speed here. They're going to go 3 wide down the front stretch. That's Whitlock on the middle. On the outside, that's Carl Lemkel in the white and blue SLU car. And then on the inside, Jacob Cummings from Wingate. They're going to go 3 wide still. And then that 4th car in the battle, that's going to be Edwin Onofre. As they go into turn 1, they got to figure this out now as Lemkel comes out of that battle still in 2nd position. But Jacob Cummings might have that 3rd spot wrapped up, but Whitlock has something to say about it. As they go 3 wide again down this long back stretch through turn 2 and up to turn 3. They single file out there. Still 2 wide, though, between Whitlock and Onofre. Whitlock's really the big loser here as Onofre on the outside. Looks like Cummings on the inside still. He's going to go side by side with Carl Lemkel as well. They go 2 by 2. Lemkel with a great exit out of turn 3. That's going to help him down towards turn 4. But still, side by side, Whitlock and Onofre. On the inside, that's going to be Whitlock. On the outside in the Mercedes, that's going to be Onofre from the University of North Texas. Whitlock deep into the corner, but Onofre is going to try to get that car turned properly in the middle of the corner, and he can't quite get there by the end of the corner. So side by side, they go up to turn 6. That inside line for Edwin is going to be so important in this corner. But a great job by Whitlock there to carry tons of speed around the outside. He's going to continue this fight, and he gets the move done before turn 7. Fantastic job around the outside of turn 6. You don't see that very often for Whitlock. But after all that chaos in turns 1, 2, 3, and even 4, it's going to be Jacob Cummings in 3rd. Carl Lemkel is able to hold on a 2nd, but for how much longer, as Cummings is charging for Wingate?
Yeah, that was a whole host of kind of fun there. Ryan Whitlock was ultimately not the biggest loser, but still not a great win there. He did lose out in the position to Jacob Cummings there, as Edwin Onofre is really close behind. And Nicholas Daly said, hey, I want a piece of this action. All that battling was able to give Nicholas Daly kind of that one up for him to be able to catch up to those guys. And he's putting his nose into the fight now. He's just sitting behind, maybe waiting for an incident to happen, but we had absolutely great racing there. I love 3 wide action going down that front straight. Probably a good highlight of that race is Nicholas Daly comes right behind Edwin Onofre, as Edwin tries to maybe goes into a bit of a defensive maneuver there for Nicholas Daly instead of kind of trying to attack Ryan Whitlock. We have Jacob Cummings hunting down Carl now. A bit of a gap between the two of them as Ryan Whitlock is able to kind of maybe have a bit of damage or a bit of an incident. I'm not really sure exactly what happened there. I think maybe Edwin kind of got into a bit of a kerfuffle with Ryan Whitlock or Nicholas Daly. I think that was the three drivers we couldn't see there, but as they go around turn 7 and 8 here now, they have some great racing going on.
Yeah, and this is the penultimate lap right now. I believe Mohamed Alif has taken the white flag for the final race of the season here in Austria at the Red Bull Ring. There he is, coming down to turn 1 now. He is in the lead at the moment, and if this result stands, he is going to be your GT3 Challenge Championship winner for the driver's side. But still 1 lap to go here for Alif. He just has to keep it clean. He has a couple lap cars in front of him, and he has to navigate his way through. And I think one car pulls to the side. It's going to make it easy for him as he has a 17-second lead over second place Carl Lemkel. But Lemkel under pressure from Cummings, Whitlock, Onofre, and Daly, as I believe that's Hunter Hidesti from Clemson, who gets out of the way of our Muhammad Alif. And Alif has clean air in front of him, clean track, and I think he's got a bit of a smile on his face right now if I would be him.
Yeah, I would definitely have a smile on my face right now as well, just because, you know, he knows he has it in the bag. These drivers can see kind of where the other drivers are in the terms of you know, the race, and they can see kind of where they are in position wise, and he knows Jordan Johnson's in the pits. He can see his car, he can see everything, so he knows he was able to clinch that win there for Jordan or our Muhammad Alif, and you know, our Muhammad Alif is able to kind of get that win, and by a massive margin, as you can see on your screen right now. Our Muhammad Alif was able to essentially take the win tonight by a 17-second gap. 17 seconds. That's this is not a short track. This is a pretty long track. Or this is not a long track. Excuse me. It's a pretty long track. As our Muhammad Alif approaches the checkered flag now, and he's able to claim that victory now. He's passed it now. Our Muhammad Alif is your GT3 champion here tonight for our Season 6 GT3 Challenge Series. For our foreseeable future, our last GT3 series tonight for this season.
Yeah, great battle for Alif in the championship, but further back, second place, it was Carl Lemkel who finished second in the end. Ryan Whitlock crosses the line in third, Nicholas Daly in fourth, Jacob Cummings, I believe he had an incident coming to the line. He finishes fifth after pretty much coming out of the last two corners in third. Unfortunate for Cummings, but great race from him, though. He had a very, very close battle with a lot of the cars around him. Elsewhere throughout the field, Cone Evans in 10th. He crosses the line. Nicholas Patinella for Robert Morris University. He's going to be in 11th. Andrew Burrell from Clemson is going to come home in 12th. Andrew Williams, he had an unfortunate spin here in race 2. He started at the front of the pack, but a spin dropped him down the order. He'll finish 13th. He's going to be the last car on the track when he crosses the line. But big story of the night, it's Jordan Johnson gets into contact with Hunter Hidesti out of turn 9 on lap 1 of race 2, smashes into the pit wall divider, and he pretty much has damage that takes him out of the championship contention. But it is your championship winner, our Muhammad Alif from Ball State University, that 12 machine. He's driven brilliantly all season long, and he is a very deserving champion, and he capped it off tonight with a dominating performance here from the Red Bull ring in that red and black Mercedes.
Yeah, that was an absolutely amazing run there from our Muhammad Alif, and you know, unfortunate end there for Jordan Johnson. Unfortunately, Jordan Johnson was taken out earlier in the race too. But you know, just because you know, our Muhammad Alif, everyone has their incidents. Everything happens for a reason. But an unfortunate end for Jordan Johnson, but a victorious end there for our Muhammad Alif, getting his GT3 win and GT3 championship win for the foreseeable future, for, you know, our last GT3 race. So as of now, our Muhammad Alif will reign GT3 champion indefinitely.
Yeah, with changes to the CiL in the coming seasons, the GT3 challenge is going away in favor of some other road racing series, but our Muhammad Alif definitely worthy of a reigning champion. I want to see if we can get a replay of what happened with Jacob Cummings on that last lap. He was in third position coming to the white flag, and I think he finished fifth. So I think it was an incident coming out of the last couple corners. So we saw him spin across the track, and Ryan Whitlock passed him for that third position. So I kind of want to see if we can get a replay of that here if possible. But still some great racing throughout the entire field, and what a fantastic way to cap off our season here tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly look for that. But let's our I guess we can grab some people. Actually, here, let me see. Might be a little difficult to find it. Jacob Cummings. This might be a little difficult to find. Hold on, see if I can find this quickly.
This looks like it. Yeah, Jacob Cummings in the middle there. That's going to be Carl Lemkel in front of him in that white and blue Porsche from St. Louis University, known as SLU. Coming in at turn 9 here. Looks like a little bit of contact here potentially. It looks like Whitlock dove to the inside, and then on the outside, I think Cummings got a slowdown
Ooh.
penalty potentially, and then he slammed on the brakes and he got rear-ended by Whitlock coming to the line. Yeah, I think that slowdown penalty, he realized it and he had to slam on the brakes. And
Yep.
when cars are going that fast and you get rear-ended, it turns into a bit of a pretty chaotic incident and a chaotic moment. So unfortunate for Jacob Cummings there, but when you get to slow down, I think it's better to slow down for the 2 seconds it gives you rather than take the 30-second post-race penalty.
Yeah, indeed. I think that is exactly what happened. Yeah, he got that penalty, and yeah, he wasn't able to kind of make that happen. But let's see if we can grab our some of our drivers here. Goodness gracious. Let's start with Ryan Whitlock. Let's start with our P3 and work our way up to P1. Let's not stay, not best for last, but let's start with Ryan Whitlock here in the broadcast booth. Ryan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, we talked to you earlier in the race. We talked to you kind of seeing how your race was going. You had quite a bit of a fight there with Nicholas Daly, Jacob Cummings, Edwin Onofre, and Carl Lemkool. What a crazy fight you had there between all of you guys. And you ended up P3. I mean, congratulations, firstly. But second of all, take us through your race.
Well, I just want to shout out Carl and DeLong, and let's see, who did I have a good fight with race 1? Cohen Evans. And Cummings there at the end, I really didn't. That's not how I wanted that fight to end, but overall it was a good race. And I did the first race of the season, and I'm doing the last race of the season. So coming out with P3 at the end of race 2, I mean, go hard or go home. And I went maybe a little too hard, but I'm just here to have some fun, and I did.
Yeah, Ryan, we definitely saw you getting in a ton of exciting battles tonight. But I think specifically, I think we all saw that incident at the end of race 2, where I believe it looked like Jacob Cummings got a slowdown from our point of view and he slammed on the brakes in front of you. What did you see from your perspective? You definitely dove it down tight onto the inside of turn 10 there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I will wholly admit that that is not a good passing corner. But like I said, last corner of the last race of the season, I'm just here to have some fun. And I got a good run out of the penultimate corner and just tried to spook him more than anything. And it's unfortunate he did get a slowdown. I'm pretty sure pulled to the right to try to serve it. And racing instinct, I guess, I tucked into the slipstream because that's what you do. And he was on the brakes to serve the slowdown, and I really did not intend to spin him, make him a Beyblade like that.
Yeah, that was quite an unfortunate end for him, but he had that slowdown. He just kind of, I guess, brake checked, and that's a really kind of unfortunate end for him, as well as I mean, you were able to clinch that third position, but I'm not. It's just an unfortunate end there, but as you got P3 in our last race here for GT3 for the foreseeable future here. Kind of how'd you feel about this past season? What are your thoughts, and kind of what are you looking forward to for the rest of next season and the further?
Well, myself and the whole team, whole Charger Motorsports UAH team, we kind of took a step back from CIL because we're also going through a lot as a club right now. We're transitioning from largely short track oval racing to autocross, and we've been trying to get the bureaucratic red tape side of being a university club with a racing team sorted out. So, we didn't really want to prioritize CIL for this season. Also a lot of our members are upperclassmen, engineering majors, so we're really getting into the thick of our degrees. But CIL, I know they're doing a short track series next season. Really looking forward to that, since that's what myself and my team's background is from, and I think we're going to be involved with helping that tick and helping that hit the ground running.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to have you guys and have everyone at the super late models and the short track and everything like that. And I'm super excited for you guys to be there. But other than that, before we get started on all that, do you have anyone to kind of shout out, to thank, to give thanks to?
Yeah, I mean, I already shouted out Cohen Evans, Austin DeLong, Jacob Cummings, even though that's really not how I wanted that race to end. Like I said, I was just there to have some fun, some good racing. Lim Cool. And I had a good time for the most part. Just
Well,
kind of decided to do this race last minute. So
and we're glad you did. You had some amazing racing. You put out some great racing there for these guys, this race out here, and we thank you and great racing. Congratulations, and can't wait to talk to you again.
yeah, thanks.
That was Ryan Whitlock, our P3 finisher, in the Porsche car. Next we have Carl Lemkool. Let's pull Carl Lemkool and see if we can kind of give a good chat to him. Carl, you got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha. Hey, guys.
Well, congratulations, and what a battle you've had in the past two races, or the past race here today. I mean, especially that race 2 battle, it was absolutely exceptional. I mean, that battle with Ryan Whitlock, Nicholas Daly, Jabe Cummins, Edward Onofre, that just exceptional battle. It was probably the most exciting thing we had tonight, and I'm super excited about it. It was an awesome battle. And really, I just want to start off and just take us through your race, take us through those battles. How did you feel? What was going through your mind when you were racing?
Yeah, thanks, Christian. The my mantra with iRacing is that speed is the best defense, and to put it lightly, I'm not really the most comfortable in a GT3 car. I spent a lot of my time in open wheel stuff. So yeah, it forced me to get a little creative with my defense, and really think about how I give the draft and what corners I give up and which ones I take back and roll on the outside. But yeah, for the most, it was just not making mistakes and driving within myself, and it worked out in the end. So yeah.
Yeah, Carl, we definitely saw a lot of great racing from you tonight. It was always fun to watch a defensive masterclass that you put on there in the end. One thing I do want to mention, though, is that, obviously, as a part of the alumni class, you aren't directly racing with the students for points. Alumni and students are separated by class in the GT3 challenge. So were you concerned about just racing your own race and then not worrying about the students? Or did you know that even if they did pass you, that uh, points were not on the table in that instance?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm not racing the students for points, but at the end of the day, this was a one-off for me because, like I said, I'm not primarily a GT guy, so I'm just here to have fun and support the series and show off my school colors and all that. So at the end of the day, I was just pushing to finish as high as I could, and if I fully expected at some point someone like Nick or Mohammed to just come whizzing by me through the field because I am not the fastest, and it never really happened. So I just kind of held position and let him battle behind me and held my ground.
Yeah, Carl, you definitely ran a really good race, and I think that Porsche we saw really, really strong on the brakes in terms of just the BOP and how strong certain cars are. Were you confident in that Porsche, especially going to that heavy, heavy braking zone of turn 3?
Yeah, it certainly gave me the confidence throughout the race as I worked up to it. But the first time I've driven a GT3 car in a few months is when I pretty much randomly selected the Porsche. I had seen it was near the top of a BOP graph recently, so that was the one I picked, and I hopped in, and I was like, oh, well, yeah, this is actually not so bad. So, yeah, it, it worked out really well.
Well, Carl, it's always fun to talk to you up here in the booth tonight, but before we send you on your way this evening, is there anybody you want to thank or shout out on the broadcast this evening?
Yeah, this is my first ever road um, road podium and interview with you guys. So I really want to give a shout out to the CIL as a whole. Gone through a couple changes, and the new leadership is doing a great job with it. I love the way it's being led. I'm really looking forward to where it's going to go in the future. So just a big shout out to you guys, and yeah, keep plugging away. I love what's going on.
Well, Carl, congratulations on your first ever CIL roadside podium. We hope to see you up here and again in the booth again sometime soon, whether it be oval or road. And take care, Carl.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, guys.
Once again, that was Carl Limcol from St. Louis University, representing not only your P2 finisher for tonight, but your alumni class winner. Always great to talk to some of the alumni and see them up here fighting it out with the young guns of the students. But I think now it's going to be time to talk to our race 2 winner. It's going to be our Muhammad Alif here coming up into the booth momentarily. We'll see if we can pull him up here. See. Hey, Alif, can you copy us?
Yep.
Perfect. Well, Alif, what an eventful night between from race 1 and race 2. Race 1, we saw you have a little bit of contact with Jordan Johnson. Race 2 went a bit more smoothly, and in the end, you definitely came out on top. But talk us through that race 1 incident with Jordan Johnson. You get squeezed a little bit there on the inside of turn 6. Did you get a little wide? But what happened from your point of view?
Yeah, just one of those incidents where it's a racing incident, similar to what happened last night, I think. But yeah, managed to kind or just about keep it on track after the mini spin, and then after that was just trying to keep the car alive and bring it home.
Yeah, I mean, well, that too. But firstly, I just like to congratulate you on, I mean, GT3 champion. You are our GT3 champion. You came out on top with an unfortunate end for Jordan Johnson there in that last race. He was kind of an unfortunate end, but I mean, how do you feel? You were able to take that last win, and you were able to take it by a very large gap. I mean, I think you finished with over 18 seconds between you and Carl Lemkel in the P2. How do you feel with getting the GT3 win?
Oh wow, thanks. Yeah, it feels great. All the months of hard work, all the preparation really paying off on this round. Would have hoped to go away with the double win, but this coming out in the end. I saw Jordan's incident, which was super unfortunate. I don't think he could do anything there to survive that. But yeah, I mean, that's racing, and yeah, super happy with the championship.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate end for Jordan. He wasn't able to do anything, and he even tried to bring his car back on the track, but I think it was just way too damaged for him to do that. But yeah, I mean that's it for GT3. We're done for the next foreseeable future. We'll see how other people we switched to new series. We're going to super late models. We're going to our 14-week oval season, as well as we're going to a bit of a different Formula C series. But the same kind of Formula C as we saw yesterday in the race. But what are your thoughts on the foreseeable future? What are you planning to do? How are you kind of planning for the future? What are your plans? Just kind of walk us through that.
Oh yeah, I mean lots of things lined up for me. I have to brush up on my ovals again to make sure I'm competing at the front or near the front from round one. And then various games. I'll be racing in the virtual Le Mans series with all the world's fastest teams this weekend, and also the 24 hours of Le Mans as well. So just a lot of things stacked up from now on to next year, and yeah, of course the Formula C Championship and super late models. I've never driven. I don't think I've driven those cars before, but yeah, just yeah, can't wait to get started on that.
Yeah, and you are a super talented driver, and I'm super excited to watch you in all of these races as well as the super late models, and just kind of see how you pick up on that and see how you do. And I mean, you've always been a joy to watch, and someone I can I can always count on to give me some good battles on track. So I'm definitely excited to see that there. But as you said, you were racing this weekend. Do you have anyone else or anyone you can give thanks to, shout out, or anything like that?
Oh yeah, this championship I think goes out to my whole team. I think this is our first championship, drivers championship as a team. If I'm not wrong, we got the college championship as well, so it's our second title after the Formula C championship. So really proud of all the work that the team has put in. Big thanks to Dan Marino, my teammates Red, Kale, and also special shout out to Evan for getting me into this team from the start, and yeah, the whole Ball State Esports team as well. Huge shout out to them. Also, big shout out to my family, my dad, mom. I think they're watching, so big thanks to them. And yeah, see you guys next season.
And we'd love to see you again next season. Thank you so much, Arma Halif. And again, congratulations on your GT3 championship win for season 6. We'll love to talk to you again, and have a nice night.
Thank you. Cheers.
That was our GT3 champion and your race 2 winner, Muhammad Ali from Ball State University. Whew. We still have one more.
Christian, I think Christian, we saw a Leafs point of view from the two races tonight in the championship battle, but I think it's important that we hear from our runner-up in the championship, Jordan Johnson. A very unfortunate night for him, but Jordan Johnson, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Jordan, commiserations for what happened in race two. Nothing you could have done there. Obviously, we saw the replay and you did what you could, but just super unfortunate luck. Two nights in a row here at the Red Bull Ring in Formula C at first. You got away with it there, but just you couldn't do it again tonight. Go ahead, walk us through what happened from your point of view and kind of did you know it was over at that point?
I think anyone in knowing how tight this battle was, or 2 points coming into it, would have known it was over as soon as that happened. I saw the incident coming from quite a long ways away. I saw the smoke and the BMW getting loose, so I started slowing down to try to dart to the inside, and then it was just too little, too late. I dove as far as I could to the inside, ran out of track, but still got hit. I ended up checking the replay. It looked like they released their brakes too, which is that much more frustrating knowing that it was preventable. But again, further, nothing more that I could have really done considering I pulled the car as far right as I could have within any kind of reason. But it is what it is. It's unfortunate. That's just how these things go sometimes. I can't dwell on it too much, especially with it not being my fault. Just got to kind of move on and move on to the next.
Yeah, that was definitely an unfortunate, kind of end to your GT3 season, and your GT3, at least CIL career there. But, I I'd like not to focus on kind of that, and more or less I like to focus more on the positives of the kind of things. I mean, you're still able to clinch that P2. I believe you were still able to clinch that P2 finish in their championship. I have to double check those points, but that's still a pretty good win, especially with you getting P1 in our Formula C championship. That was our pilot season, so that's pretty nice. Maybe talk us a bit through your race one. Kind of, you did that was a great race for you. In race one, you were able to kind of get that win and put a lot of points up on the board, as well as kind of have some great racing there with Leaf.
Yeah, race one. I mean, coming in, I just came off of the NASCAR series, so I came in, I think, with a minute and a half left in practice. So I quite literally had no laps other than what I did this morning, knowing that if I made the race, I was not going to have any time. But it was really just a race, a strategy for me. Even though it's a sprint race, the Porsche gains lap, or it gets faster over a stint, whereas I know the Mercedes gets slower. And especially the middle sector, which is very, very front limited. I knew the Mercedes was going to struggle, so I just kind of waited behind the Leaf for that kind of middle phase of the race. Once the tires started getting a little bit too hot, and the Mercedes was just going to lose some of that grip, and that's when I kind of started hassling him, seeing if I could either make a mistake, or make him have a mistake, or maybe get a move on myself. First kind of attempt was kind of half-hearted, and then later on, once we came through that middle sector on lap 9, that's when I realized I had a really good chance, and I was really confident through that middle sector. So I tried to take it deep into turn 5. It came together. I was trying to leave as much space as possible. I think he also took it a little bit too deep. Two cars into one. It was unfortunate the contact, but good racing nonetheless. I think had it been real life, it might have just been a little bit of door banging rather than him getting fully sent around. But it is what it is. We all play by the same rules on that one. Unfortunately, he came off worse, and I was able to take that position and carry on from there. But I was hoping that was going to be the launch pad for another championship winning race. Unfortunately, that was not going to come to fruition, but did what I could.
Well, Jordan Johnson, as we come to the end of our CIL road season here tonight, I think it's a good time to reflect on, I think, all that you have accomplished in your inaugural season in the CIL. Obviously, tonight a bit disappointing, just coming up a bit short due to some unfortunate contact, not your fault in the end, but still being able to put on a very good show in the GT3 side of things, as well as clinching the championship in the Formula C series last night. How do you reflect on your first season here in the CIL, and where do you take it from here?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think generally, I think it's good things is what I can take of from a personal note. I think I showed my strengths as a driver. I was unfortunate I was only able to get P1 and P2 rather than two P1s, which I think anyone would be happy with. But the standards I hold myself to and what I felt like was possible, I feel a little disappointed, a little bit bittersweet. But I mean, you can't be too disappointed with the first and second overall. especially in two vastly different series with Formula cars and moving over into GT3s. So a lot of positives. I learned quite a bit, especially racing against someone of Elise caliber. So I think I have to look at those positives and be satisfied, and really take what I learned and carry those on to the future and use the lessons I've learned then.
Well, a Leaf, definitely good words to live by and continue on racing here in the CIL. But for one last time this season, is there anybody you want to thank or shout out on the broadcast this evening who makes it all possible for you?
Oh yeah, of course, my team, Pure Sims Esports, and all of our sponsors and partners, SimLab, Cube Controls, FreeM, OBP Esports, and Night Rider Designs. Just all the support that everyone gives me and my team just for making our racing dream possible and allowing us to kind of put in the effort that we do to these kind of events and show what we're made of.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, apologies. I think I accidentally said a Leaf there, so sorry for my end on that part. But Jordan, Christian, you had anything else to say?
No, just again, congratulations on that. We got a confirmation. Congratulations on that P2 finish. You did end up getting P2 in the championship. You were ahead by miles. I don't know why I even thought about that, but yeah, congratulations. And I can't wait to see you again next season.
Thank you. Me too.
That was
Well, Christian,
Jordan Johnson.
yeah. Well, what an absolute amazing last race here in the GT3 challenge for the season. Taking a bit of a hiatus next season to try out some new things in the CIL. So definitely going to be interesting to see what comes of that. But definitely, I think the big takeaway from tonight is just unfortunate from Jordan Johnson. You couldn't do anything about it, and I think he definitely is regretting what happened for that contact. So we'll see if he comes back even stronger next season in the Formula C series. Tries to clinch another championship there. He is our reigning Formula C champion, so it's definitely going to be fun to watch for Jordan next season.
Yeah, Jordan's definitely going to be able to make quite a bit of quite a bit of a punch next season, and I'm excited to see it. We have these great drivers, and they put on some immaculate shows here, and I think it's going to be a great season coming up, and a great end of the season. We still have our oval season to go, but Jordan Johnson, I do not believe, is a driver in our oval series, so. Unfortunate for him. I think that is the end of CIL for him this season. We will have that break for him, but he will come back, I'm sure, just as strong and maybe even stronger to fight for those new championships.
Yeah, I think that's a very important part of the off season for some of these drivers between CIL seasons. Obviously, we try to align with college schedules in the spring and the fall just to not conflict with finals, of course. Obviously academics so important for these student drivers. So I think a lot of drivers are going to kind of go into the off season knowing what they need to improve on and really work on that. I think some of the benefits for these drivers is that they have these clubs, these teams that they work with, Ball State, Clemson, St. Clair College are really the three big schools that have major club and administrative involvement from their schools. And I think that's going to allow them to utilize each other really well in the offseason and maybe have a little bit more time to kind of hone their skills and come back even stronger next year.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season next year, and I'm super excited. We're going to be able to have, we're going to have our super late models. We're going to have our Formula C. We're going to have our Cup. We're going to have the Cup is going to be a 14-week season. 14 weeks. We're going to have 14 races for them. It's going to be every Monday. It's going to be changed up. So there's going to be quite a bit of difference. We're not going to have another GT3 season. This is going to be our last GT3 season indefinitely until we have maybe enough time, for these drivers. But it's a lot to put on a series like this, and these drivers put a lot of time and effort into learning these cars, into learning all this. So it's definitely going to be maybe a bit of a nice change since we've had GT3 since essentially the beginning. We've always had these GT3 cars, not from the beginning directly. We used to have GT3s or GTEs, excuse me, and LMP2s. Woo. But it's definitely going to be an interesting race coming up. Yeah, we. I mean, I do you have any other notes on this race other than, unfortunate end for Jordan Johnson. Our Muhammad Alif definitely got I think the P1 he might have deserved, and or he definitely deserved that P1. I mean, he has some exceptional driving, but I don't I don't have any other notes on this season or on this race or season before we kind of talk about the results here.
Yeah, I think Jordan Johnson and our Muhammad Ali are both gonna come out of this season stronger. They say that steel sharpens steel, and that's gonna be the case here in the CIL. And I think they came into the season as newcomers for season 6. So I think some drivers who maybe veterans weren't expecting this new blood to come through, kind of show them up a little bit. So I expect to see a lot of drivers go into the off season and come back stronger with a bit more speed in their cars, a bit more skill in the seat, and it's going to be fun to watch next year.
Yeah, I didn't even kind of think about that. Both of these drivers are brand new drivers to the season, or to the series, excuse me, or to the league. Jordan Johnson, Arma Hamaleaf, these were both their kind of opening series, so they're both rookies for the year, and they definitely made a point into saying who they are and what they're capable of. So it's gonna be great. I'm excited to see more racing like this, and it's gonna be great. But let's take a look at our results from the race here. We're gonna be able to get and see. Oh, excuse me. We have to switch over to our live. There we go. We can see our results here starting from P1. We are going to have our championship winner, Muhammad Alif. He's going to be your GT3 champion from Ball State University. He was able to come out 18 seconds ahead from Carl Lemkool in P2 from St. Louis University. Followed by P3 is Ryan Whitlock. Carl Lemkool is also the alumni winner for this race. P3 is going to be Ryan Whitlock from University of Alabama in Huntsville. Followed by P4 is going to be Nicholas Daly. P5 is going to be Jacob Cummings. P5 is going to be Ian Brown, excuse me, from Mesa Community College. P6 is going to be Cale Davidson from Ball State. Ball State is is going to be the college champion for GT3. P7 is going to be Pennsylvania College of Technology, followed by P8 is going to be Cohen Evans from IUPUI. P9 is going to be Jacob Cummings from Wingate University, followed by P10 is going to be Nicholas Patinella from Robert Morris University. P11 is going to be Edwin Onofre from University of North Texas, followed by P12, Andrew Burrell from Clemson University. We have another Clemson University drivers. Andrew Williams, P13, was able to start this race here in P1, race 2 in P1. P14 is going to be Daniel Hunter from St. Clair College, followed by another driver is from St. Clair College. Is going to be Victor Roldan. P16 is going to be another Clemson University driver, is Hunter Adesti, followed by P17 Kyle Wood from Ball State University. Again, Ball State clinching that college championship. Followed by P18 is going to be Alex Hogarth from St. Clair University, St. Clair College. And P19, unfortunately, Jordan Johnson, your P2 champion or P2 finisher in the series from Kent State University.
Yeah, I think tonight's race definitely capped off a very, very exciting GT3 challenge season out of the CIL. Going to take a little bit of a break next season to make way for some upcoming series that are new to the CIL, but I think that's going to just about wrap it up for us here at the CIL tonight. So on behalf of everyone here at the CIL, myself, Matthew Nordberg, Christian Hill, our broadcasting team, production team, everyone who makes this possible, as well as the drivers, we really want to thank you for tuning in for tonight's CIL GT3 Challenge broadcast. We hope to see you again next week as the CIL Oval Series takes to Michigan International Speedway for their championship races. Monday night at 9 p.m. it's going to be the Prospect Series, trying to hammer out who's going to win the championship there. And then on Tuesday night, 9 p.m., it's going to be the CIL Premier Series, crowning their champion for season 6. So don't miss that one, as I think for us in the GT3 side of things, it's going to be a farewell to everyone watching tonight, and we hope to see you again sometime soon.